Hi everyone, welcome to NetGate Chemistry. So in this video of coordination chemistry, we are going to discuss about the coordination complexes having coordination number 6. Okay, so in coordination number 6 complexes, they can be having two types of geometries basically. One could be the octahedral and other could be trigonal prismatic, right? So first we are going to discuss about octahedral geometry. Octahedral geometry is like this. Central metal atom will be present here, 4 ligands will be present in the plane, okay, like this, attached with central metal atom. One ligand will be above the plane and other will be below the plane, right? The possible hybridizations in octahedral geometry will be sp3 d2 d2 sp3 or sometimes p3 d3 also. Okay, so these hybridizations, they show octahedral geometry, right? Also, if we talk about trigonal prismatic, then geometry is like this. Central metal atom will be here. Above that plane, make a triangle, okay, and attach this to central metal atom, and below also make a triangle like this and attach this to central metal atom. This is trigonal prismatic geometry. So if you look at these two geometries, then you will see in case of octahedral geometry, there are 4 ligands which are present in the plane. So definitely bulky groups of ligands will not try to show this type of octahedral geometry, because if all 4 bulky groups are there, then they will not be able to adjust themselves in a same plane along with the central metal atom. So they would rather prefer to go into trigonal prismatic geometry, right? So this is how you decide whether a particular complex is. This is basically the basis by which you are going to first primarily decide whether the priority will be towards octahedral or trigonal prismatic geometry, right? For trigonal prismatic geometry, the hybridizations could be SD5, PD5 or SPD4, okay. Sometimes P3D3 also shows trigonal prismatic geometry sometimes, okay, very rare cases, okay. Example for this type of geometry is WCH3 6, because all the alkyl groups, these are considered to be bulky groups, okay. If bulky groups are present with the central metal atom, then they will prefer trigonal prismatic geometry. This was the question asked in NET also and GATE also, okay. Example of octahedral are so many. For example, copper H2O6 2 positive, very famous example, okay. So this is the introduction of octahedral and trigonal prismatic complexes, and the we can primarily decide whether a particular complex could be of octahedral or trigonal prismatic geometries, okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to tackle some of the cases of complexes, and we'll try to find out whether these are octahedral or going to be trigonal prismatic. Also they are going to form outer orbital complexes or inner orbital complexes, and many more things with that, okay. So first complex which we'll be discussing is vanadium NH3 6 2 positive, okay. This will be the first complex. Second will be chromium H2O 6 2 positive. Third will be chromium Cn 6 4 negative, and fourth will be copper H2O 6 2 positive, Okay, these 4 cases we are going to discuss, and some basic conclusions we are going to derive from these 4 cases. So these are basically very important cases. From here you will know all the things about the complexes having coordination number 6 from these 4 cases. Okay, so if we talk about this first complex, vanadium NH3 2 positive, then how many d electrons are present in vanadium? Answer is D3, right? D3, it is a D3 complex. So if we try to fill the electrons, then it will be like this. One, two, and 3. For octahedral complexes to form, we know that the hybridizations should be sp3d2 or d2sp3 or sometimes p3d3. So we'll basically try for these two. Yes, we are available with 2 d orbitals, 1 s and 3 p. So it can undergo the hybridization d2 sp3. Also it can undergo the hybridization sp3d2 because outer d orbitals are also available. But what we know is that here n-1, this is n-1 d subshell, this is ns, this is np, and this is nd. So n-1 d will be present here, ns will be here, np will be here, and nd will be above, right, in energy profiles. So mixing between n-1 d and ns is basically favored, right? So we'll go for d2 sp3 because these inner orbitals, they undergo mixing really well due to less energy differences. So this will be having d2 sp3 hybridization. Because it is having d2 sp3 hybridization, so it will be having octahedral geometry. Because inner d orbitals are used in hybridization, so the complex is inner orbital complex. Okay, if we have used outer, then it will be outer orbital complex. In this case it is inner orbital complex. Okay, from here I'm going to give some conclusions. See, here there was a case of d3. It could be the case of d2 also, d1 also, and d0 also. In all of these cases we will be having these 2 d orbitals vacant. Even if we have no orbitals, no electrons in the orbital d0, 1 electron, 2 electron, or 3 electrons, these 2 d orbitals will be available for d2 sp3 hybridizations. Okay, so in case of d0, d1, d2, d3, okay, in all of these cases in which metals are having d0, d1, d2 and d3 electronic configurations, they are going to have octahedral geometries. Okay, no matter the type of ligand, whether the ligand is a strong field ligand or a weak field ligand, we don't have to look for the ligand, property of ligand. We just have to see if the central metal atom is having central metal ion is having d0, d1, d2 and d3 configurations, then the complex is definitely going to be octahedral one. Okay, now the next one, chromium H2O6 2 positive. Here it is having d4 configurations. Okay, so we'll fill it. One, two, three, and 4. Now here what happens, see, right now we don't know which one are strong field or weak field, but for now I will tell you that H2 here is going to be weak field ligand and Cn is going to be a strong field ligand here. Okay, so what happens, weak field ligands cannot cause pairing. Okay, so these electrons are not going to pair up. So what happens, we have only one d orbital left and the other d orbital having one electron. This electron cannot be paired up because we have a weak field ligand which cannot cause pairing. So what happens, we cannot use this d orbital. We are left with only one d orbital, but we want 2d orbitals. So what will happen? We'll leave this one, and then we have sp3d2 hybridization in this case. Okay, so here the complex is outer orbital complex because outer d orbitals are used. Okay, now if we consider the third case of Cr Cn6 4 negative, then what happens? Here also chromium is having d4 configuration, same configuration, but what happens here is that initially it will be having 4 electrons filled like this, right? But what happens, because there is a presence of strong field ligand, so what happens, it will empty out this d orbital which will be required for hybridization. And what will happen then, the orbital which would have been present here in fourth d orbital, it will pair up. Okay, and we'll have 2 empty d orbitals available for hybridization. This pairing has happened because there is a strong field ligand present here, so we'll have d2 sp3 hybridization because here we have strong field ligand. Okay, so here we have used inner d orbital, so the complex is inner orbital complex. Okay, so from here also we can take out a conclusion. In case of d4, d5, d6, d7, all of them, if we have a strong field ligand, right, then it will cause pairing. Okay, then pairing will take place. Okay, and inner orbital complex will be formed, right? Also, in case of weak field ligands like this, in d4, d5, d6 and d7 configurations, what will happen, the d orbital, 2 d orbitals will not be available for d2 sp3 hybridization, so we will having outer orbital complex. Okay, any complex having central metal ion with d4, d5, d6, d7, for that we have to look for ligands. Okay, in case of d0, d1, d2, d3, we do not need to look for the ligands whether they are strong field or weak field. The complex is going to be octahedral. Okay, but if we have the configurations d4, d5, d6 and d7, for these 4 configurations we have to look for ligand, whether the ligand is strong field or weak field. If it is weak field ligand, then pairing will not take place and formation of outer orbital complex will be formed. If it is a strong field ligand, then pairing will take place and inner orbital complex will be formed, right? Now the last case of copper H2O6 2 positive. Here what happens, it is having D8 configuration, right? So we'll do the filling. Okay, 8 electrons are filled in n-1 d subshell. Okay, now this is Ns, Np and D. Now what will happen, whether the ligand is a strong field ligand or a weak field ligand, we are not going to look for the type of ligand, same as the case of this one, D0, D1, D2 and D3. In that case also we need not look for the ligands, and in these cases like D8, D9 and D10, here also we need not look for the ligand, whether the ligand is strong field or weak field, because even if pairing happens, then also we'll not be able to get 2 inner d orbitals for hybridization. So here also sp3d2 hybridization will take place and will be having outer orbital complexes. Okay, so for coordination number 6 complexes, if we are having d4, d5, d6 and d7 electronic configurations for central metal ion, then only you are going to look for the ligands. Otherwise there is no need to look for the ligands, whether the ligands are strong field or weak field. Okay, the complexes are going to be like this. Okay, so these are the cases which discuss the coordination number 6. Okay, so if I summarize, for D0, D1, D2 and D3, inner orbital complexes will always be formed. For D4, D5, D6 and D7, complexes could be inner or outer orbital complexes based on the ligands, right? So if the ligand is weak, outer orbital complex is formed. If the ligand is strong, inner orbital complex is formed, right? In case of D8, D9 and D10, no matter the ligand is strong field or weak field, always outer orbital complexes are going to be formed. Okay, so this is all about the compounds of coordination number 6. Okay, so far that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.